UTV 44 Friday Night Rivals, sponsored by Mullinax Ford.
There's only one place you can get that shot for a Friday Night Rivals broadcast, and it's here at Ladd-Peebles Stadium. As tonight we got a matchup of a couple of ranked teams. The number 6 ranked Faith Academy Rams in 5A taking on the Williamson Lions, ranked number 10 this week in 4A, in a matchup here tonight at Ladd. Good evening. I'm Jim Cox, my partner Dan Brennan. And Dan, as we get ready for this game and preparing leading up to tonight's broadcast, it's obvious we're going to get treated to seeing some really good, dynamic players on both sides of the football tonight.
Yeah, good teams, too. Well-coached teams, and Williamson does not bring a bunch of numbers. They've only got 30 on the roster, and yet they're going to give a lot of people in 4A a lot of trouble, right? Yeah. A problem is Faith Academy is a really good team, and they're in 5A. We'll see how it mixes out, but a couple of very physical football teams tonight for sure.
Things have turned around at Faith Academy since Jack French has come there like he's done at many programs. We'll talk about more throughout the broadcast, but it helps when you have great players, and they've got Shamar James, a talented young man, starts at defensive end, but then makes a huge difference on the other side of the ball.
Yeah, he's also a really good wide receiver. He's big and strong. He's gonna fill out. You're right, defensive end, wide receiver. Yeah. I don't remember that combo in the many years we've done this, but Jack French acknowledged to us during the pregame a very special personality and certainly a very special athlete and talent.
Does everything well, according to Coach French, and he's got multiple offers all throughout the SEC and other parts of the country as well. He's a popular young man on the recruiting trail. Also, yes, a really popular guy who's been recruited since he was just a freshman even, but now linebacker for this Williamson team. Robert Woodyard he's coming back, coming strong, and we got some great information as to just how ready he is to play tonight.
Yeah, Woodyard is coming off a tough leg injury from a year ago, the kind of injury that can really shake a young man up. Yep. You made a good point as we were talking to AC Antonio Coleman, the defensive coordinator of this Williamson team, down on the field before the game. But he said Woodyard is locked in. He's ready right now, and this close to ready for the college game. He's only a junior.
One game into his junior season.
Yeah, at this point, by the way, he's committed to the University of Alabama. They like to handpick very good football players. Tells you a lot about that guy.
We're excited to watch him tonight, and boy, they're very high on him, and this should be a really good matchup. Both teams didn't do much offensively in week 1, but defensively they both played lights out, so we expect this one to be a low-scoring game tonight, so get ready for a shootout if that's what we're thinking. Kickoff comes up next. It's Williamson taking on Faith Academy tonight here at Ladd on UTV 44 in our Friday Night Rivals. Week 2 of Friday Night Rivals here on UTV 44. Jim Cox and Dan Brennan up in the booth here at Ladd-Peebles Stadium. Jared Kehos down in the truck, and our great UTV 44 crew here as we're ready to get this one underway. Faith Academy, ranked number 6 in 5A. The Williamson Lions, ranked number 10 in 4A. And got just a little rain shower that just started here momentarily. It a little cloudy here all throughout the pregame festivities, but nothing major going on here. Not like they had last night. Saw some of the highlights of the game last night. It was like a monsoon here.
Yeah, it wasn't a weather highlight, unless you're looking for that kind of thing. But, yeah, light showers come through. Will have no effect on the game at this point. So let's just see if we can move along here, and this is as bad as it gets. We're okay.
Yeah, really expect this to be obviously a good game. That's why we pick it as our Friday Night Rivals. And you can see the rain coming down just a little bit here as we look down toward the south end zone. And
she just broke her leg. I think she got ran
tending to a down. Ooh, we'll come back, get this one started. Faith and Williamson tonight here on Friday Night Rivals. Just about ready to get underway here at Ladd. A slight delay here as one of the Faith cheerleaders down on the field, and they're tending to that young lady, and never want to see that. And they led the team out on the field and carrying the flags, and the team came charging out. And then, we were just saying, Dan, it just started to rain here, and sometimes as soon as it just starts to rain, I wonder if the field does get just a little slippery. And if you're a cheerleader, you don't have the same footwear on as a player does.
Yeah. Don't know what happened.
field.
Did not see it when it happened at the time. So both teams have taken a knee, and their thoughts and prayers with that young lady, and hopefully it's something that they can tend to immediately. They're tending to her immediately for sure. So that's why the moment has become pretty somber here at Ladd-Peebles Stadium. We've seen a lot in all these years. I don't know that we've seen that.
Yeah, I don't think so. And usually, if there is a cheerleader injury, it's if a play comes to the sideline and maybe sometimes they have their back to the field because they're cheering to the stands. But they, like I said, they were helped leading the Rams out on the field, and then the young lady went down. They got the medical staff out there. You can see the stretcher there, and they'll continue to deal with that young cheerleader. We're back after this. Hey, look at Ladd-Peebles Stadium. The rain just started to fall just literally like a minute or two before we were ready to come on the air here. And we saw as the broadcast opened up, you saw the Faith Academy team being led out of the north end zone by their cheerleading squad, and one of the cheerleaders at the far end has been down since that happened, and they've got the stretcher out there, and it sounds like they're you hate to speculate, but it sounds like a knee injury is what they're dealing with down there. And just what we had said before we went to break, Dan, is it starts to sprinkle and the field gets just a little slippery, and a cheerleader's got tennis shoes on, doesn't have any type of football cleat or anything like that, and that seems to be what caused the problem there, just from overhearing down on the field. But that's the delay to the game, and you certainly hate to see this for any young athlete. And it's been we're past 10 minutes now, and you wonder if the players aren't going to have to maybe do a little more, warm up a little bit.
That's what I was thinking, that it's probably going to be incumbent on them to do at least some little line drills or something where they're warming up all over again. And the young lady has now been lifted on the board onto the stretcher. Is that where we are right now?
Yeah, and of course they have the ambulance service here at the games, as they do at all of the games, and I just hated for that young lady. Is always have the great medical staff on hand, and they were right out there immediately to tend to her, and they'll go get her some great care there. So,
and without a sideline reporter this year, Amanda would have been down there. We could have gotten a name, and so we could understand maybe the condition that she's in and all that, but we don't have that opportunity this season.
We'll try to pass that information along if we do. So looks like we're just going to get right to the kickoff here, and Williamson will kick off to Faith Academy. Williamson won the toss, and they said, we want to put that defense out there first. Williamson won 14-12 last week in overtime against LaFleur, and Faith Academy, they won on the road up at Andalusia by a score of 10-9. A 45-yard field goal went wide right as time was expiring. You see Christian Burnett, starting running back deep for this Faith Academy squad, and Ryan Kidd, number 8. He is a handful as a defensive end for this Williamson team. He's also their kicker. And
that's another combination you don't see a lot, right? We got the wide receiver, defensive end on Faith's side, defensive end and kicker and punter with Kidd.
Yeah. Anybody who roughs the punter against Williamson this year, whoever is the rougher is going to get the worst of that encounter. I would. Boy, Antonio Coleman was super high on this young man. We didn't talk a lot about his kicking skills, but we talked about him defensively, and we'll talk more about that. Antonio Coleman, the defensive coordinator for this Dedrick Sumner-led coaching staff at Williamson. And Kidd, wow, a really good kick, yeah. Burnett back at the 3, and he spins out to the 26-yard line. So Faith went 11-1 last year. Lost a lot of seniors off of this team. Jack French in his 3rd year has really changed things around. You know, they've won 13 straight regular season games, and he's 18-6 overall. 277 career wins for Coach French. Of course, here, Mississippi state championships.
Baldwin County High School.
Yep, Baker and Colton Wood. Quarterback, and Shamar James that Dan talked about goes in motion. Instead, they give it off to Burnett, and not much going there, and a late flag comes in as Jaquan McGinney was in there clogging things up. And McConnell Collision Center with our first flag in that. Here's the offense for Faith Academy. Perrin, Tice, Seymour, big 355 at center. Damari Moore and Ethan Jordan, the offensive line for this Faith Academy squad. And then you got James on the outside. Also, Dorian Smith played a lot last year. Colton Wood stepping in as starting quarterback this year. Burnett, just a sophomore, the starter back there. He'll be their primary running back. McGarity will get some action in there as well. And James will probably carry the ball also. And due to some technical difficulties at Ladd tonight, we will not have the referee's microphone. There's a Jared can do a lot. He doesn't have a soldering iron here to try to put the cable back together.
Yeah, that wasn't his fault.
Boy, a big win here last night. I know that makes Pat Ivey, who's watching this game down in Orange Beach, happy as Daphne. Trent Battle, huge night, and Daphne with a 42-point offensive explosion to win over Davidson. And we see the first touch for James tonight. And he's going to have a first down out to the 43. Tennessee, Georgia Tech, Kansas, Nebraska, Mississippi State, and lots of others after that young man. He was on our pregame show. What a likable young man he was.
Yeah, he is. And I misidentified him as a senior. They said, no.
They did not let you get away with that for very long.
They did not.
Jack French said, no, he's going to be there. This Williamson defense, Kidd, we're going to talk a lot about him. McGinney and Kennedy, and then the linebackers, Cross, Gaines, and Robert Woodyard, who Dan mentioned, and Wilson. And push ahead up to the 43, and rounding out the starters. Only one defense senior on this defense for the Williamson squad, and that's Jalen Gray, and he's a D1 corner. They got Richardson, Harris, and Ward back there in the secondary.
They got a D1 corner. They got a defensive end who's really, really good, and they've got what Antonio Coleman says is the best linebacker core in the state.
Yeah.
And this is a 4A team.
And he's not one to just, wax poetically when it's not true.
No.
And he's a pretty decent evaluator of talent, I'd say. He's been around a few athletes in his day.
He was one of the top linemen in the state in his day. That might have been as far as 19 years ago or so. And
we did his games here.
We did his games. The Williamson Lions were tough to beat.
Whew. Bobby Parrish, the head coach there, and you were talking about how Bobby Parrish, if you made it through the practices back in those days for Williamson to Friday night, that was an accomplishment.
It was like a tough man contest on the field at Williamson's practice field.
All right, 2nd and 13 now after the infraction there against the Rams. Again, they're ranked number 6 in 5A. Pressure coming from Kidd with one arm, but he can't bring down Wood. And now Wood with some time throws it back across his body, but overthrew the intended receiver. And boy, you saw the explosiveness there from Kidd coming in. And how about Wood to stay up with the one arm that came around kind of the midsection there?
Yeah, well, you got an all-state defensive end right there, and big, strong kid, and give Wood credit for juking just enough, and then almost making a play out of it.
Was trying to get Atkins out of the backfield, missed him there, and so now 3rd and long. Oh, now it's going to be 3rd and longer as Gabe Broadus in the slot. Jack French not going to be happy with the early penalties. You know, that was something that Coach Sumter talked about last week for Williamson. He said, you know, mentally we were not sharp to come out in that game. He said, you know, I know it's week 1, but he said we weren't mentally sharp. And he said we had to really work to get it together. And they did to come away with that overtime victory. But Faith a little bit on the sloppy side here on this opening drive. 3rd and 18. Going to be looked like it was going to be a holding call. Instead, Wood gets it off, but he's going to be well short of the first down as Peyton Bell. I thought the official was reaching back for the flag and decided not to throw it, but he got it to Bell, but it wasn't even back up to the original line of scrimmage, and they'll bring on the punt team.
That was Gray on the play, and this Williamson team, no shocker. You can tell their coach really well, but man, they can run.
He had 3 pass breakups and an interception last week. And now Jeremiah Owens will go back. Sam East on to punt. High snap over his head. He's going to chase him all the way back inside the 10, down to the 5. Tried to get it off. Ball loose, recovered by the Lions. Touchdown Williamson, and it's Kidd. Ryan Kidd hustling all the way down the field. How about that? Ryan Kidd, who 4 tackles for a loss, 3 sacks last week, and he might have already upped the performance this week with a touchdown.
Yeah, and you talk about the uncharacteristic mistakes by Faith Academy, by a Jack French coach team. And they hand the Lions 6 and maybe 7, we'll see.
Ryan Kidd, 6'1", about 270, just a junior. And he's got the touchdown. The high snap over the head of Sam East, and East ran all the way back to get it inside the 5, then tried to make something happen, and that the poor punter's just trying to make anything try to happen at that point. And Williamson lines up, split it out wide to go for 2, and now Miller fires it, and it's broken up. Fired it, was trying to pick up the 2-point conversion. So it's just going to be a 6-0 Williamson lead on this big play. Snap, high, punt, no chance. Ryan Kidd hustling down the field, puts Williamson on top early on this one here at Ladd. So it took us a while to get going in this one. We had an injury to a cheerleader for Faith, but it didn't take that young man long to get going. Ryan Kidd, a quarterback pressure we saw, and then recovers a high snap botch punt attempt for Faith, and there just was not anything good in that opening series for the Faith Rams. Wow.
No, they came out kind of sloppy, whether the delay before the game happened or the concern for the cheerleader had any effect, but they were not sharp.
Kidd sends Burnett back to the 3 again. Burnett keeps the legs going to the 31. So a little better field position this time for.
But to keep an eye on this Williamson defense. Watch them. They are. Jim and I were talking to Coach Coleman before the game, and of course there's Coach Dedrick Sumter, and they're not exotic, but like you were talking to AC, it's like if you've got the horses, why would you mess around and get yourself out of place?
Yeah, you see what Coach Sumter has done there, and you see his record. Boy, you say, oh, well, that's not great. But he's looking for his 4th straight winning year, and he's gone to the playoffs 4 of the last 5 years. So, you know, the program was kind of down when he took over, and it took him a while to get it. But I think one of the biggest things is the staff he's assembled around him has really made a big difference for these Williamson Lions. Quickly to James, spins and gets stopped after a couple. There's Nathaniel Richardson there to make the stop.
And they don't just run well, they are sound. This is not going to be an easy team for Faith Academy or a lot of people to move the ball on and get a lot of points.
Yeah, so Williamson dropping down to 4A this year. And there was a lot of people in 4A saying, oh, great. Yeah,
really?
Great, yeah. So more pressure there is.
Fumble on a play, but recovered by the Rams.
Jaquan McKinney got in there, was trying to get on that loose ball. And now you're 3rd and long again, just like that, if you're Faith Academy.
3rd down and 10.
How about the way Jack French does what he does? And he just comes in and he organizes and he teaches a level of toughness and accountability. And it's like, that can't be enough, is it? Well, it has been everywhere he goes.
Yeah, went to state championships in Mississippi. Was retired for about a cup of coffee, about that long, and then just couldn't stay away. And now his third year here at Faith, and they had not had much success as of late until he came here. Wood pressure from the backside rolling out, fires this one off his back foot and incomplete. And now it's going to be 3 and out.
It's kind of a slow developing play with the quarterback kind of jab step. I don't think you want to do anything that gives Williamson an extra millisecond,
right?
Because that defense, especially on 3rd and long, those guys know what's coming, and they're getting after the quarterback.
And so after the high snap that sailed way over the head of Sam East, they're forced to punt again. And this one a much better snap. He's not a very good punt. You can hear the Peter calls, as Vic Lockett would always like to point out. And boy, Williamson going to have outstanding field position. Going to start at their own 49, already on top by a score of 6-0. If you want to reach out to us, you can shoot us an email. Hey guys at utv44.com. We'll do our best to answer questions throughout the evening tonight. You can shoot a text up to the booth if you want. Let's shoot a text down to the truck if you're lucky enough to have the digits of Jared Kihos. He'll pass those along as well. And now we see this Williamson offense had to go to overtime last week and converted a 2-point conversion to win 14-12 against LaFleur. And we look at Daniel Miller, 6'2", 210-pound junior quarterback. And inside give there back to the line of scrimmage. Not much on that one. Hawkins, Sewell, the 2 lanes, Laderick and Eric, and Cameron Pope anchor the offensive line for Williamson. Jeremiah Owens had a couple of catches last week. Keep your eye on the tight end. Jeremy Williams, 3 catches and a touchdown last week. Theodore Morzette also there as well. And the lefty Miller looking to air it out. Fires over the middle of the field, and that was incomplete. And now it's going to be a 3rd down and long coming up. Faith Academy's defense, Rice, James, Coleman, and Shamar James on the outside there. Thompson, Fisher, McGarity. The strength of this defense, probably the secondary. They returned 3 starters, Broadus, Saranthus, and Bell, and then Jared Nettles rounds out the secondary for this Faith Academy team. They gave up 9 points last week at Andalusia.
Watch for a quarterback draw, maybe.
6 rushes for 42 yards last week. And Miller with pressure right away gets away at the 45 and steps out of bounds. And you see both quarterbacks showing some elusiveness here, but not much doing there. But I don't know if it was going to be an intended keeper, but Faith quickly with pressure.
Yeah, I think it was, Jim. Watch here. Well, you know what? Maybe it might have been that pressure that forced his hand, and that's Shamar James right there.
I think we'll call him. I think we'll call his name a lot tonight since he plays on both sides of the ball all the time, right?
Well, if Jeremy Pruitt calls him, I guess we might as well. Boy, good stand by the Faith defense right there.
I kind of needed that, too. It gave up great field position. And Williamson only gets 2 yards. And they don't have enough players out there. They have to hustle. They might have to take a timeout here, and they will. The play clock was going to run down. They didn't want to give up 5 more. That's the kind of stuff I think Coach Sumter was talking about, having to run a player. Run a player on late there to get the punt off. Last night here at Ladd, Trent Battle put on a huge night. The TCU commit led Daphne to the win 42-7. Stacy Luker at Clark County. It's been a long time since they beat Jackson. I think it's like 13 years or something like that. And
saw that score. It caught me, but Luker he's a really good guy and a really good coach.
Big win for Clark County. You see Washington County and Millry tonight. Bryan and MGM. Bryant looking to go 2-0 to start the year. Fairhope trailing 7-0 against Andalusia. Robertstown, Alberta. Alberta will take on Faith Academy next week. Satsuma and Citronelle. Blunt Let's see, Gulf Shores and Brookwood tonight. Scoreless after 1. Spanish Fort and St. Paul's. That game, of course, a lot of national attention tonight. Kidd at the kickoff and take a good bounce and picked up at the 20. And a lot of speed taken at that Gabe Broadus. And now we'll see this Faith offense come back out here. Yeah, lots of games. Boy, they really had to alter the schedule around up in North Alabama tonight because of the weather coming there. So they pushed a lot of games to tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night.
Yeah, that was a scary storm coming in a little after midnight, too. It's a recipe for all kinds of calamity.
Now we'll see Colton Wood come under center. Burnett, just a couple. Kidd, the first one in there to wrap them up.
You know, they're so good with their front seven. Williamson, it's going to be hard to beat them deep or long because those guys don't have to rush up there and help against the run, normally speaking.
Back out of the shotgun. Colin Ward split to the bottom of the screen. 2nd and 7, high snap again, way over the head of Wood. Wood goes all the way back and just falls on it wisely. And look who's the first one there again. Ryan Kidd was there. He's like, I know how this drill works.
Well, that probably means he beat his block, you know, initially anyway.
Wow, Wood.
I want to give some credit to McGinney because he must be applying the sort of pressure on the center and or snapper, making them very uncomfortable.
And I think we'll get our heat timeout here with 5:48 to go, and Williamson on top 6-0 and 3rd and 35. Dan Brennan's going to noodle something up to call on 3rd and 35 here on this break. .544 to go in the first. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan here at Ladd Stadium. Faith Academy in Williamson 4A. Williamson leads 5A. Faith Academy 3rd and 35. Do they have to get past Williamson High School to get the first down? They're going that way. And Wood just a delayed handoff to James. And happy just to try to punt this away. Again, they've had a couple of bad snaps that have really put them in this bad position. One on the punt that resulted in the touchdown for Williamson, and then this one that set up the 3rd and 35.
This Williamson defense can really run, and if you've noticed from the pad popping, they mean business when they get there too. Very sound.
Jeremiah Owens stands right at midfield. East with a low line drive kick, and wow. Owens probably had that one to do again. He'd like to pick it up as it rolls all the way back to the 29. It was such a line drive, and Faith had good coverage coming down, but the Williamson coaches would like to see them grab that one. Friday Night Rivals brought to you by Mullinex Ford. Thank you for being a part in driving these broadcasts each and every Friday night here on UTV 44. And this Williamson offense went 3 and out last time. They're 4-2 all time against Faith. They didn't play in the last 2 years, but they won the last 3 in 15, 16, and 17. 3-game winning streak, as you see Daniel Miller there. Was 7-12 for 106 yards and a touchdown last week. On the pitch, Jacoby Shaw.
Wow.
And Shaw, not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Shaw, our guest on the pregame show, just 5'6", 135 pounds. But Coach Sumter said, yeah, he's not a gadget guy. He's going to stick his nose right up in there. And his brother was an all-state running back here last year. You see the moves there, but Dakota Saranthus came in to make the stop, but they lose 2 on it.
We've got 2 very sound defenses tonight. It's going to be, points are going to be tough to come by, Jim.
2nd and 12 as we approach 4 minutes here. Miller fires it out, able to get it to Shaw. And I think it may be back to the original line of scrimmage. Shaw, as we said, was our guest in the pregame show, and Coach Sumter was telling us a little about him. He said, you know, he was really mad. He got his first B ever, and he was really mad. First B ever, really mad.
Very thoughtful young guy, and boy, he's got a little shake to him.
Yep, he toted it 12 times for 61 yards and a touchdown last week. He also had 3 receptions. He's got one here tonight. And we've said 3rd and long a lot tonight on both sides of the ball.
It's going to be longer if they don't get the snap off. Got down to 5 seconds.
And Coach Sumter did not like where that was going as the play clock was at 2. You know, we have not seen Williamson since they updated the unis, the yellow pants and the yellow and black. It used to be more of a black and silver, black and white.
Yeah, or silver and white. It wasn't. It wasn't as blazing gold. I like it.
So more of our great folks helping to bring Friday Night Rivals to you every week here during the high school football season. Andy Citron, injury attorneys, man, doing a great job. And he's also sponsoring our Scholastic athlete. And everybody who wins that this year going to be a chance to win a $5,000 scholarship at the end of the year. So
incredible.
Great job, Andy. We thank you for being here again and being a part of Friday Night Rivals and Connell Collision Center. Also a part of Friday Night Rivals, and they bring us, there's a penalty. You know, that flag was thrown by the Connell. Let's see if we can zoom in and see the logo on the flag.
Louis Urata, he was all about it again this morning on FM Talk 106.5 when he calls in from McConnell.
So anybody he runs into, he'll just give a hundo to at the grocery store. Is that it?
He gave a hundo to me.
I mean, well, if he could give you a $100, like pretty much anybody I would think would get one. 3rd and 9 here for the Lions. Miller looking, wants to air it out, hangs this one up to the near side. It's broken up, good coverage there. That was Robert Woodyard. He played 1 snap on offense last week, and he was kind of a decoy. But here's the linebacker going to Alabama, and they split him out wide. And he was matched up there with Peyton Bell, and Peyton Bell will be watching some SEC football games in a few years. He's like, he tried to go deep on me one time, and I swatted that away.
That's the beauty of high school football, right? Yeah,
so you'll see Woodyard some over on the offensive side of the ball, and linebacker. He's going to be, maybe come in. Maybe he's a running back. Maybe he's a big play. No, split him out wide on the go route.
Yeah. Check out the speed after the knee injury.
All right, so now Kidd on to punt. Play clock down to 2. They get it off. Bit of a low snap, but Kidd got it off. And an end-over-end kick takes a great Williamson bounce all the way down to the 19-yard line. A 51-yard punt for Kidd. Here's our 5A top 10. And Faith Academy with their win over Andalusia jumps up to number 6 there. Andalusia stays in the top 10, but then you got UMS Wright at number 5. UMS Wright taking on Mobile Christian tonight. Neither team has crossed the 50, and they got 6 minutes to go in that game. St. Paul's at number 3. They're taking on Spanish Fort tonight. That's a 3-0 St. Paul's lead in that one right now across the bay. And you got Central Clay County, your number 1 team in 5A. Coltwood and the Rams back out here. Smith goes in motion. Burnett, who breaks this one, tries to get to the outside and then stood up and turned away. Charles Harris had 5 tackles last week for this Lions squad and adds to it. That it looked like there was something going, but then a little delay and it closes down.
Yeah, so quickly. And Burnett, he's only a sophomore. They really like him, and you can see why. He's a talented running back, and he's only going to get bigger and better. And it looked like he had a seam, and suddenly Williamson cuts it off because they're in place, and then they pursue very well with that just natural team speed.
And fundamentally sound when it comes time to make the tackle.
Absolutely. Hey, they don't swing and miss.
2nd and 9, and whistle. Looks like Williamson going to take a. Nope, it's going to be Faith who takes the timeout here with 2 minutes to go in the first. And next week we will. Next week, Sarah Landon McGill. Excited to see that one. And so here's where we're at in 4A. Williamson jumps up into the standings with their win over LaFleur. Etowah, Madison County, and Madison Academy there. Gordo, Deschler, Jacksonville, and Viger ranked number 3. And somebody, Ben Thomas, gave them a #1 vote for the #1 spot. There's a ranked number 3, Bibb County and American Christian. And how about this 3-game stretch Faith Academy is going to have coming up starting on the 18th of this month? They got St. Paul's, then they have a week off, then they take on UMS, then they take on Viger. That's a tough 3-game stretch for this Rams team. 2nd and 9. James in motion. They were looking for him. Instead, they want to come to the outside. This one hung up. Grabbed to the 45. Racing down the sidelines. Dorian Smith. 80-yard touchdown reception.
What a great throw by Colton Wood. Gave the little pump fake. Offensive line.
Gave him time.
Gave him time. That was a key right there.
And boy, you gotta count. You gotta focus on where Shamar James is on every play.
Yeah.
He was more in the slot that time. And then Smith, like Dan said, a little pump fake, and then off to the races as he got behind the sophomore Travell Ward.
Well, that's a lot of speed on that Rams side there.
Yep, sophomore versus sophomore there, and it didn't look like there were many players on the field that would catch Smith when he gets a few steps on you.
No, and the throw was so good, Smith didn't have to break stride in the least.
Yep. Sam East on for the P.A.T, and just like that, the Rams have taken the lead 7-6 on the 80-yard pitch and catch here. And watch it again. Wood. That's a long throw, too.
Really long throw. He's got a good arm. And a number of times today, they just threw a quick out right along the line of scrimmage. That was the fake. And instead, there's your result. And both teams have gotten to the end zone now, but only one offense. And that's been Faith Academy's.
And they convert on the extra point as well. So they take the lead and take a little of the air out of this Williamson side. And we talked about just one senior on this defensive side of the football for Williamson, but even though they're young, and Coach Sumter was telling us on the pregame show, he said, yeah, we're young. If you look at us, we've got sophomores and juniors, but a lot of them played and started for us last year.
Yeah, he wasn't going to use that as an excuse in any way. But it just takes one turn of the head, that cornerback one-on-one, and Faith Academy, all that futility on offense, and they make it all up in one play.
Sam East to kick off. Gray and Owens, the deep men for the Lions, as we're inside 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter at Ladd. Just a good kick taken at the 10. That's actually Jacoby Shaw who replaced Owens back there, and Shaw is up to about the 23. And we've got a Ram who is loading it up. Down there, looked like Jamarcus Apkins. And pulled his helmet off right as soon as the play was over.
Saw an injury last week to Edwin White, the All-State safety for UMS Wright. I talked to Terry Curtis on Saturday after the game, and he felt like White banged up the outside of his leg.
Yeah, we saw the helmet. Friendly fire, right?
Yep.
The teammate here, you see he just went down
no contact.
Non-injury contact, and talking with Rich Myers in the pregame show at AOC Sports, and he said, guys haven't had a lot of reps, maybe haven't had some of the usual strength and conditioning they've worked out on their own, but maybe haven't had as much interaction with their strength and conditioning coaches during the pandemic, didn't have spring football. So you're seeing some of these things, and you've seen it in some NFL training camps if you follow that. Some of the non-contact injuries early in the season. Mobile Christian leading UMS by a score of 6-0. Now Spanish Fort has taken a 6-3 lead over St. Paul's. Robertsdale, the Bears looking to go 2-0. They lead Alberta 14-0. Gulf Shores leads Brookwood by the same score as now they got Atkins up. That's a good sign. Fairhope, they've scored 14 unanswered. They lead Andalusia now 14-7. Fairhope Daphne. Ooh, that's going to be a big one next week. Murphy leads Foley 14-3. Theodore 14-7 over Baker. Citronelle leading Satsuma. Bryant looking to go 2-0 on top 12-0 over Mary G. Chickasaw leads St. Luke's 14-0 as Hopkins makes it over to the sideline, and now we'll see the Williamson offense again. Jacoby Shaw, exactly what Coach Sumter said. He'll run it right up between the tackles.
It's good blocking up there, and Shaw's quick, and he's definitely elusive too.
See Miller looking over here after the gain of 8, and we got a question on the hey guys. We'll talk about just a second here. And again, here's Shaw. Look at the speed. He breaks one at the 45, and Jacoby Shaw still on his feet all the way down to the 25.
You heard the excitement on the Williamson sidelines. You may have heard some of the commentary by the coaches. There he goes, there he goes.
43 yards for Jacoby Shaw. Kind of see why Coach Sumter liked him so well in the pregame show, right?
Absolutely, and great blocking too. Block the end out, and yeah, good vision by Shaw, but that hole would have been hard to miss.
Biggest play on offense for the Lions here tonight as Broadus finally came over there. You know, we had a texter into the email into the Hey Guys asking about who has more Division I athletes on the team and which side of the ball, on offense or defense, and I think it's Williamson on the defensive side of the ball. Of course, you got Woodyard going to Alabama. You got Kidd, who certainly a D1 prospect, and you got Jalen Gray, the cornerback, also D1 prospect back there at corner.
Yeah, I think it's a few of those other linebackers as well.
Yep, and they're so young, though. Again, Gray, the only senior, but Shaw got maybe one on there before Bryant Fisher came to make the stop.
This Faith team is anything like the Baker teams that Jack French coached.
Baldwin County, when he was there, too, they played the same way.
Yeah, very, on the edge. I mean, he coaches his teams to be highly spirited.
Well, I mean, all the energy that Jack just always... Look at Shaw with the cut back here. And he's going to have another Lions first down inside the 15.
Yeah, they're doing the job up front now, Jim, finally. And that was the thing. If they couldn't block Faith, they were going to be in a world of hurt. But starting to get some movement. And when you do, Shaw is quick enough and tough enough to get the yards.
Let's see if they get this one off, or if they're just going to let it. They're going to just let it expire, and we'll walk to the other end. And 1st and 10 from the 11 coming up for Williamson. They trail 7-6, but they're knocking on the Rams' den here. As we'll bring you to the second Friday Night Rivals tonight at Ladd.
Williamson.
Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Friday Night Rival. The naming deal was going to be called the Brennan Building for a while. I thought there was talk of that.
That was a bit of a radio stunt.
Oh, gotcha here. First and 10 from the 11 here for the Rams as we start the second. This one on the ground, and did Jacoby Shaw get down there? He was trying to wrestle it away from the big Faith lineman. And Faith saying they've got it at the bottom of the pile, and they do.
That was the old mesh point they talk about.
Talon Rice.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
So unfortunate.
And was it going to be was he going to pull it out and keep it? And oh, boy, you're at the 11, and you turn it over. Oh, those are.
Well, in a game like this where we assume that points are not going to be easy to come by, that is a killer. And that's 4-down territory for a Williamson team that doesn't really have a kicking game.
Each team with a costly turnover here. Coaches always talk about it. Comes down to 4 or 5 plays a game.
Yeah.
That's looking like one of them.
This defense with a chance to maybe get it back.
Wood going to keep it himself for the first time and dances up the middle. And Woodyard was going in trying to get a handle on the ball, and he was brought down to 25. That's the first time we've seen Colton Wood call his own number.
Looked good, too.
Yep.
He's a good athlete.
Yep.
We know he's got a good arm.
Yep. 5'11", 170-pound senior. A report from Mobile Christian UMS just tied that game up at 7-7. 7-3 Spanish Fort leading St. Paul's across the bay. Quick out to the far side, and that one was nearly intercepted as the Lions were reading that one the whole way. Let's look and see who that was on the far side. I thought,
wow.
Yeah, it was Jalen Gray. Had the pick last week and 3 pass breakups last week, and he's got a couple here tonight already.
Pretty good move on Faith's part. A receiver picked the ball up in case it was a lateral, and it was right on the line. It looked pretty close. That would have been a live ball.
So 3rd and 3. You're right, Dan. Here, Williamson gets a stop, a chance to at least keep some good field position here. Burnett, McGarity into block for him. Hard count.
Exactly what we said they don't normally do.
Tyrant Gaines, the sophomore linebacker, came charging across and gives him the easy first down. Again, we would love to have the referee's mic here tonight, but Ladd-Peebles Stadium does that. Their equipment is broke.
Well, you've heard the term cut the cord.
Yeah.
Somebody cut the wrong cord. And the result is that we can't hear the referee, even though it's a wireless mic.
Inside Burnett. Up to near the 35. And starting to see Faith Academy's line. They've got some good size up there. They're starting to open up some holes.
Yeah, they've got a big one at center. And Jay Seymour, 6'5", 355. That's where it begins. But also Ethan Jordan, he goes 320 pounds. That's a lot to lean on you every play. Pretty good game.
Yep. Gain of 9. We thought this would be a tight, low-scoring game. Just, teams still trying to find their way here in week 2. I think even more so than in a regular week 2. And Burnett's going to get the first down. Not much more than that, but he only needed 1. But, with, like we were saying, not a lot of reps, no spring football. Practice has not been anything, it's not been normal. So I think you're going to see teams continue to maybe shift some players in and out, trying to find exactly the combinations to work as they move on here.
That's a good point. We've seen high school football teams that schematically aren't different by the end of the year, but where they've got their personnel is different. You take a guy, put him here rather than there, and suddenly you're more productive.
The speedster Smith out top. James comes in motion. Trey into the bottom of your screen, but they go right back to Burnett.
Running off the backside of that big center, Jay Seymour.
Gain of 6 on first down. Warren Wilson finally brought him down.
There's a bunch of tough young men who are having it out at the line of scrimmage when either team has the ball.
You brought up a good point. We're in the break. Like the weather we've had for the first 2 Fridays this year, like not the scorching hot August nights we're used to.
We lucked out last week with the breeze coming in and that sun going down. Tonight, pretty comfortable.
Burnett, the sophomore, and he'll pick up 4. He'll bring up 3rd and 1 before got wrapped up there by Christopher Kennedy, yet another sophomore. On this Williamson defense.
Yeah, taking Burnett out on a 3rd and short. He's been the guy. Let's see who they trust.
Yeah, and Apkins, who replaced him a lot, he was the one who limped off on the punt coverage earlier. And look who they put in the backfield is Shamar James.
Yeah, I was wondering.
They'll put 2 big blockers right in front of him and give it to him. He's hit in the backfield. He's going to be stopped. Wow, what a play is hustling in there to blow that one up. Was Ryan Kidd?
I think it was Kidd.
I thought it was hard to read the jersey. I thought it was Kidd at first.
Wow.
The jersey, and he did a good job to hold on. It indeed was Kidd.
Yeah, and a great job also by the senior cornerback, Gray. And by an eyelash, they got that first down.
Ooh. Yeah, Kidd had 4 tackles for a loss in week 1.
You can see how.
Yeah, he was coming from the right defensive end spot and got down the line to hit him in the backfield on the left side, but James just needed 1 and got just that, but it's enough.
Manhood going to be tested tonight.
Wood, high snap, did a good job to go up and get it, to hand it off to Burnett. That was a high fastball coming back to him.
Looked like it was high and outside, too, which didn't make it any easier. There's Burnett back in the game.
Did a good job to grab that one and get it to him, and picks up a couple, and we've seen some snapping difficulties with this Faith Academy squad. And they went 6-0 to win the region last year. But now Viger and Jackson drop down to 4A, and UMS and St. Paul's now in 5A with the Rams.
Yeah, I didn't see the number, but I think I know who that was. Shamar James making some really good moves.
Picks up 5. He'll bring up 3rd and 3. And James, if you're just joining us, just a junior, 6'1", 202, plays the outside defensive end spot there, and then he's wide receiver, and they'll put him in running back as well. Tennessee, Georgia Tech, Kansas, Nebraska, Mississippi State. He's had a lot of talks with Gus Malzahn at Auburn as well.
Kansas has got some Mobile ties.
Brent Dearman, they sure do. He's a good follow on Twitter. Quick to the outside. James wrapped up by Gray, and Woodyard there to help as well.
Well, they make you earn it all. The only big play, the only score for Faith Academy was that
80-yard touchdown, yeah.
Great throw, great catch with Smith.
Guess so we'll take a heat timeout here halfway through the second quarter. It's kind of shaping up like we thought it would be. 7-6, Faith. 3rd down, make it 4th down coming up. Will the Rams punt, or maybe they'll go for it? We'll find out right after this. Halfway through quarter number 2 here at Ladd, and week number 2 of the high school football season. Our Friday night rivals driven by Mullenix Ford here on UTV 44. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan. Jared Kihos in the truck and our entire crew in 4th and 4. They'll go for it. They've used a hard count before to get a first down. Let's see if they'll do that. Think they snap it here, Dan, or 10 seconds on the play clock?
I don't think so.
Points at a premium. They've got Shamar James lined up 7 yards deep. And they just take the delay of game.
Good discipline by Williamson, and good job. They were aware of the moment, aware of what was going on, the situation, and didn't hand the first down over to Faith Academy, and now they'll punt it away.
Sam East again comes on to punt. There's Jack French. He has spent a lot of Fridays of his adult life on a sideline.
No kidding. Winning.
Yep. Good snap. Pressure coming. And East did a good job to get that one away. And the Saints will down this one at the 23. Or I'm sorry, the Rams will down this one at the 23. Trivia time here. Williamson had 2 All-American quarterbacks. Last one, Jamarcus Russell in 2002. Who was the first one? Stick around. It was up in the second half.
Okay.
Trivia Man is like 2 for 2 to start the year on some really great,
Good stuff.
really great trivia questions. Once we outsourced it, they've gotten much better. And Shaw on the keeper and get just a couple before Fisher wraps him up again. But you got to get that fumble out of your mind that Shaw had the last time there on the exchange with Miller when they were all the way down to the 11. Let's see if the Lions can put a drive together here. They went for 2 after their defensive touchdown they scored and didn't get it. You see Daniel Miller.
They're going to get a penalty or
Play clock.
oh, they're okay.
Yeah, 5. They're good. Back to Shaw on the left side, and he'll fall to about the 34. And 3rd and 4 coming up for the Lions. We haven't seen Miller put it in the air much here tonight.
No.
Haven't really seen him keep it either, which it looks like something that we saw he wanted to maybe on one play and maybe wanted to on that fumble as well. But do you think we're going to see that at some point here?
Neither team's in a big hurry. We've noticed that. Neither team's really been able to establish any kind of rhythm on offense.
Miller rolls out. And he's got to step out of bounds because Shamar James was right there. And, boy, good assignment football by James. And a left-handed quarterback rolling back out this way can make for a tough throw on that reverse pivot.
Yeah, he's just such a good athlete. He had him one-on-one and was able to shadow the quarterback. Look at it. Look, break it down and not give. He simply didn't give Miller anything to work with. And then defensively in the backfield, they were blanketed on those receivers.
Saw Coach Sumter talking to him as he came off the field, and Gabe Broadus stand back at the 40. He's one of the returning starters defensively for this Rams team. And Kidd, good high kick and got a flag, and Broadus caught it at the 47, dropped the flag.
Back by the punter.
Yeah, it was 4th and 12. I didn't see much. I didn't really see much contact. Of course,
I don't think that's what it was.
As we said, when your punter's 6'1", about 270, contact can be a dangerous thing for the.
Doesn't mean the same thing, does it?
No.
Well, Faith is happy with the field position they have near midfield, so they'll just take that.
So they wave off the McConnell Collision Center penalty flag. Here's the 5A standings. Alberta, Nate McDaniel with a win in his debut last week down there. Faith with the win St. Paul's and UMS each with the win. And then Satsuma didn't play, and BC Rain and LaFleur started the season with losses last week. This is a non-region game between these two teams here tonight. But Faith Academy, who's number 6 in 5A.
Well, Nate was at.
And here we go, 4A. Jackson, Viger, WS, Neal, and Williamson all to start the year 1-0. And then Mobile Christian St. Michael hadn't played. This can be a county loss, but you know, that 4A, boy, you got Jackson, Viger, Williamson.
Yeah.
Whew, there's going to be some
Tough neighborhood.
Wood pulls this one down, tries to get to the outside, gets across the line of scrimmage into midfield as he was able to get away from Wilson there.
I'm impressed with Wood.
Yep. Like his moxie out there. And,
Yeah.
And this could be a frustrating defense to play against as well, because you have to be very patient, but when you get a shot, be able to take advantage of it, which he did early back in the first quarter.
We talked about how fundamentally sound Williamson is, but on that particular play, some poor tackling.
Kid over there to make the tackle again, and now Wood going to keep it himself, scrambling. And he's going to be about a yard short. Yeah, on the far side, Markey's going to be just short of the first down.
He's slippery.
He is, and hadn't tried to force anything tonight. Third and very short as we're clocked under 3 minutes here in this one. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan at Ladd and Faith. They're playing back-to-back games on the road to start the season. Went to Andalusia last week and here at Ladd tonight, and give to Burnett, and he got to the 45 but needed to get to the 44 as that one quickly collapsed down there, and Ryan Kidd again in there to make the stop.
It is decision time now.
How about the motor? I mean, like, how about
yeah.
How about the motor on the young man as well?
Yeah, I think that's something that Antonio Coleman was alluding to, telling us about why the kid was so special and just why Coleman just admired him so much. Just a junior, and he's made a bunch of plays tonight.
They'll go tight formation this time with Shamar James only 5 yards deep, and they wanted to go with a quarterback sneak, but I think Jack French took a timeout. He didn't like how that one was trending. And we were talking with, so when you have a linebacker like Robert Woodyard, who's already been offered by Alabama, he's committed to Alabama as a junior, so he's going to get a lot of attention. Scouts looking at him, whether they're in person, watching film, you know, and you're a guy like Ryan Kidd, and maybe you were a little under the radar coming into this year, and all of a sudden you're going to jump off the tape. When you're watching it, exactly, when you're watching Woodyard, he's going to jump off the tape, and he's going to get a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, he said that Coach Muschamp from South Carolina was inquiring about him and just saying, now who is that guy?
Yeah. All right. Our Herc Reynolds player of the game. We're going to give you 3 players. So maybe Ryan Kidd and 2 others right now to vote on at the, looking maybe at the end of tonight's game. And then we'll tell you about it next week at halftime. And
how about Colton Wood so far?
I think he's definitely there as well with the 80-yard touchdown. And Colby Stafford, our player of the game last week from UMS. We'll tell you all about that at halftime coming up tonight. But Herc Reynolds, I was thinking about Herc Reynolds when that 2 storms were in the Gulf, thinking, we need to go ahead and get a generator. They give us one every week here. And thank you for Herc Reynolds on the sneak. Ooh, this is going to be awful close, Dan Brennan. He's got it. Indeed, he does get the sneak, and Wood needed just a yard on 4th down and got it there. Keep the drive alive. Williamson will get the ball to start the second half. Faith Academy, they haven't marched it up and down the field much except for the one big 80-yard play. They got a good drive going here. Late in the second. Wood will pump fake again. Now he wants to scramble. Cuts it to the middle of the field and all the way up to the 35-yard line. Good gain of 8.
Got running skills.
Yep.
You know, when he's out there.
You said slippery earlier.
Yeah.
You're right.
He's not lost in the woods. He can dissect where to go, how to get some extra yards, and how to avoid the hits.
I wanted to look to the near side. Now fires it on the far side. He's got that one complete up to the 23-yard line. His first time tonight he's been able to hook up with Peyton Bell. And a first down, and down to a minute to go. One timeout left for the Rams. Clock stopped while they moved the chains, and got it going again. Wood, pressure, steps up, but he's going to be brought down, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. As Jaquan McGinney, you don't see, Williamson doesn't bring a ton of pressure, do they, Dan Brennan? They just kind of
get it naturally.
Yeah,
they get it from the front. But Wood's been able to escape it up the middle and then make his way with his quick feet.
So they had to take their last time out there because the pressure quickly came and Wood had no chance to throw it away or try to get it downfield. And so now you're out of timeouts with 46 seconds left, 2nd and 11 at the 24.
That was cool. These are names that we heard. They're names you read in the, online now, not necessarily in a newspaper, but
wish we had one in Mobile.
Names that you see on the depth chart, and then you watch them play, and then you really get a much better idea of, exactly what they are on the football field. Colton Wood, Ryan Kidd, they're defining themselves to us, and certainly number 5, Shamar James. He's a special athlete.
From the 24.
Good matchup.
Yep. 2nd and 11. Wood steps up in the pocket. Now more pressure. Wants to scramble out to the right. Tries to keep it alive as he wanted to go to Peyton Bell there. And like that, it would have been easy just to pull that one down. But we've seen how quickly those holes close up and able to get the clock stopped. Because if he gets tackled there, we're going to be really struggling on the clock.
There's a lot of quarterbacks. They just would not have extended this play this well and almost made something out of it to Bell. Wood is heady, he's quick, and he's a gamer. You would not expect Jack French to have anything less at quarterback, would you?
Holding. I didn't even see the flag on the play. That backs him all the way back to the 35-yard line. How many calls has Jack French not agreed with when you've been on the sidelines long? He's been a bunch on Friday night he's probably not agreed with either, right?
What's that now?
Calls that go against you. You've seen somebody over there, a holding call that you didn't like. I think
caught him on camera having a discussion with the sideline official earlier tonight.
2nd and 21, but down to 38 seconds, and all the way back to the 35-yard line. Wood looking over the middle of the field, and it's broken up. Oh, he had Broadus there. And that would have been good for a first down, and kind of tipped in the air, and Nathaniel Richardson, the junior safety, came over there. Let's look here. He's got Broadus just a little spot there, and it's just a touch behind him. 32 seconds, 3rd and 21, out of timeouts.
Yeah, they've got to put it in the air without the timeouts.
Colton Wood floats to the right, fires, and over the head of James. Now 4th and 21 from the 35.
Somebody's going to bail you out. It's probably going to be Shamar James, so you can't blame him for trying to get it to him.
Yeah, and I think you're just looking there to try to, you need 21, you get 10 or 12 on 3rd down, and you're like, okay, give us a chance on 4th down.
Yeah.
And now you just want to make sure something doesn't go horribly wrong here.
couple of really good defenses, one 4A, one 5A.
4th and 21. We go 4 receivers. James in the slot to the top of your screen. Wood going to try to scramble. Tries to reverse field, and now he will all the way back at the 40, still on his feet. Fires looking for the corner, and it's deflected away. So he was trying to get to James, as Dan said. Jalen Gray did a good job to stay with James on that one. But how about the play extending abilities again from Wood? And I think could be something we see more in the second half.
Well, and I think what's impressive, Jim, is who he's doing it against. This is a really athletic, fast defense. People just, teams don't do this to this Williamson defense.
Right.
He has done a great job of extending plays, and he's going to extend the play at some point and make a big play.
Agreed. Williamson will bring the offense back out here with 14 seconds left. They have a timeout left. Again, they will get the ball to start the third, and we'll see what Daniel Miller has in store. Just gave it off to Jacoby Shaw. Now penalties came all over. The ball came out. His helmet came off, and the Connell Collision Center flag there, but James, those two talked to one another on the pregame shows. They were both guests, and Shamar went over and picked up the helmet for Jacoby Shaw.
No, he doesn't. They ripped it off the tail. Yeah. No, you're good. They ripped it off.
Yeah, he does not. There's some talk, if you take your helmet comes off, you have to come out for a play. But if the defender ripped it off, which the 15-yard face mask indicates they did.
Yeah, that's right. If somebody helped you take your helmet off, shame on them.
On the other color jersey,
yes, right.
So now you got a shot here at the 49 with 9 seconds left. Let's see. Jalen Gray.
The clock's going to run. You want a timeout, don't you, Coach? You want a timeout because the clock is going to run, right?
So they're going to take their timeout. And saw Jalen Gray, the starting cornerback. He was going to come over and line up on the right side with Robert Woodyard there. So we're going to put a couple of D1 defensive players.
Yeah, that's what they
split out wide.
That's what they think of those guys. That is amazing about Woodyard, putting him in to run the fly pattern, and he's already committed to going to Alabama as you would assume an inside linebacker.
Or a wideout.
Maybe. Alabama does pretty good with wideouts.
Vic Lucca would not say that he does not have those skinny ankles that a lot of the wideouts at Alabama seem to possess.
It's here at Ladd, obviously, social distancing can be accomplished. It's a 40,000-seat stadium, but I think my point is it's a pretty good crowd tonight.
And everybody doing a great job.
Yep.
Lots of masks on. Here you see it on the sidelines with the coaches as well. And Williamson crowd below us here, and Faith brought a good crowd.
They really did.
As well. So it looks like they'll put the two defensive guys up to the top of the screen now, and Shaw in the backfield. With Miller. Miller looking, wants to come back to the near side, and he airmailed that one. 3 seconds. They should be able to get another one off with just 2 seconds left, as he was trying to go to Jeremiah Owens, the sophomore. Had a couple of catches last week.
Gabe Broadus was very woke.
Yeah.
He knew what was going on.
They put him. Woodyard up to the top of the screen. And now, with 2 seconds left, we'll see something going downfield. Yet again, Darian Poe checks in the game for the Lions as well. Miller, quick out. Able to get it complete, but not much going on there as Gray was forced out of bounds, and that'll bring the half to a close. We thought stingy defense and low scoring, and that's what we've gotten so far. Faith Academy, by way of a point after, successful point after, has the 7-6 lead. So we'll have our halftime coming up here. Where I think our crew is trying to catch Jack French. He too is slippery. He's slippery.
Yeah. Well, we're doing it differently this year. No Amanda Booz on the sidelines to this point. And so
there we go. We got Coach
French.
We'll talk to Coach French. We appreciate him taking a.
Yeah, this is unusual for them, and so
you have to expect the unusual in everything we all do today, whether it's football or anything else. And we got Coach French down the sideline. Coach French, we thought we'd see two really good defenses here to start this one, and I think they've both been on display thus far. What you think?
They've had a lot of work to do. It's been muggy, and they've been getting after it, both teams. And, we've made our share of mistakes, but we're still in it.
Coach French, Dan Brennan here. What's it going to take to jimmy this one loose, get a win and get out of here? Because that is really, really a sound and fast defense on the other side.
Yeah, they are. We're going to have to start out way better than we did the first quarter, and then keep it up and actually play better all the way around. We got a lot of mistakes we had to clear up on special teams and some defensive stuff, and offensively, they've had us kind of throttled.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck to you. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us, and go get with those young men, and maybe we'll check with you after the game.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you, Coach Jack French. Really appreciate the coaches doing this to take time to check in with us. It's as Dan said, it's different than we've done in the past, but so is a lot of things we all have to do every day.
Everything is different.
Halftime at Ladd, 7-6. Faith on top of Williamson. Come back for halftime right after this. Looks like you can just reach out and touch downtown Mobile from here at Ladd Stadium. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan at Ladd. Our score 7-6. Faith Academy on top by 1. Williamson jumped out 6-0, and then Faith Academy with an 80-yard touchdown pass and a P.A.T. to take the lead. Herc Reynolds, as we said, going to give you a chance to vote on the player of the game after tonight's game. And last week had our season opener over at UMS, right? And Colby Stafford, boy, this young man, he made an impact early and then had a really great play that we were like,
yeah. He scores on that one. We were told about his speed before the game.
Also,
nice adjustment on the ball. So that's not much to do with speed, but just being a good athlete. And this is pretty unusual, Jim. An 80-yard return on a kickoff, one that hits the ground first, and then he runs by the wave, and 2 waves, and it's over.
Baker had just scored to get back in the game, and Baker thinking that ball hits the ground. Wow, we might have it at the 20.
Yeah.
Colby Stafford takes it the other way and takes UMS to the victory over Baker to open up the season. And Colby Stafford, our Herc Reynolds player of the game.
Well deserved.
Yep, and we will give you 3 choices at the end of tonight's game. And next week, we'll be able to, right at this time, halftime, tell you who this week's player of the game was from Herc Reynolds. So we'll come back to Ladd Stadium. Halftime here, 7-6. The Faith Academy Rams, ranked number 6 in 5A, leading the 10th-ranked Williamson Lions from 4A by a point. Halftime score here at Ladd. Faith Academy on top by a score of 7-6. Jim Cox and Dan Brennan. If you were watching the game last week when we were at UMS here at halftime, we got to see, Jared told me it was the best plays from Friday Night Rivals all from last year. Well, we watched it and there was like 3 plays. I'm like, that's it? There was just that was out of all the games, three plays. He's like, no, there's multiple volumes. So tonight we have
got more.
Yes, now we have more. It's volume 2 of the best plays of 2019's Friday Night Rivals from all across the country and maybe some internationally. Not sure. Let's take a look and see.
Quick hitter out to Martin. Martin has it jarred loose by Jurado. It's picked off out of midair by Devin Mills.
With time, guns downfield, far side, throws it up for grabs. Pass, is it caught? Oh, what a tip drill. The pass is caught.
Here he is on the dive play, shedding his block, squeezing down the line of scrimmage, and I don't know what that it's called in wrestling, but takedown.
It's a takedown.
Yeah. Split to the far side, handoff goes to Crawford. First down and more. He's right up the middle. He's gone. Tavion Crawford, touchdown, Big Red. Oh, check that. Got to the goal line, ball was fumbled, and here comes Stover, the Tornadoes. Back out down the field. Blockers in front and finally knocked out of bounds on the sideline.
He's about 5 yards of him, but there he's starting to slow down.
He was not.
Yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't in the end zone.
Broomsager didn't quit on the play.
3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Crawford looks pressured, rolls right, spin move. Still looking to throw, gets rid of it. You got to be kidding me. Like Justin Timberlake. Take a look.
No, this isn't fair. You ought to give him more than 33 because he threw this ball 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage around the 40-yard line and watch it on a rope, off balance. You're not supposed to be able to do that. That's not fair.
That was a little bit like David Palmer.
I'm telling you, if you bring up that play between Steubenville and Dover to this day, like families are split apart. Like they, was he in the end zone? Then the late hit. That was some of our volume 2. We have 26 volumes to get through, Jared says, of great plays from last year all across the country of Friday night and some Thursday night games mixed in there as well here on Friday night. Rivals. Steubenville. Oh, no, they're not playing here tonight. It's Faith Academy and Williamson. Here at Ladd, we'll get you ready for the second half after this. Williamson band just wrapping up on the field at halftime here, 7-6. Faith Academy with the lead over Williamson. The Lions will get the ball to start the second half. Every week during high school football, we've been doing it forever, and we've been doing this forever. We like to recognize our Scholastic Athletes of the Week, and got a little something extra to bring to it this week. Breaking news now. Andy Citron, who's been a big supporter of high school football for a long time here on UTV 44, well, not only is he the sponsor of the Scholastic Athlete of the Week, every Scholastic Athlete of the Week has a chance now to become the Scholastic Athlete of the Year. And at the end of the year, the winning Scholastic Athlete is going to get a $5,000 scholarship from Andy Citron. Andy gives.
Andy does give.
Andy wins and gives. Yep.
Yeah, that was breaking news today. So thank you to Andy Citron and his firm.
Yep, so in the running for that now, senior football player here on the Rams team, John McGarity, plays defense and offense, 32 on the ACT, football and golf, engineering, robotics, gentleman of honor, and the National Honor Society president. I had that one, Jared. Jared was trying to help me out. That wasn't one I was going to screw up. He's going to Mississippi State. He's going to study civil engineering, and he's going to own his own construction company one day. So
good for him.
Yeah, John McGarity, congratulations. And also at Williamson, Warren Hawkins. He's a senior. He's got a 3.3 GPA. Plays football. He's an honor student. Oh yeah, going to Princeton.
Whoa.
I went to Princeton because there was a town about 30 miles in Illinois where I grew up called Princeton. And that was as close as I got to where Warren Hawkins is going to go. He's going to the real Princeton.
Well, the real Princeton was about 40 miles from my house growing up, and none of the Brennans were allowed.
Andy Citron, thank you so much for allowing us to talk about these great Scholastic athletes. Warren Hawkins and also McGarity from Caden McGarity from the Faith Academy Rams. $5,000 going to one of our Scholastic athletes this year from Andy Citron. We'll come back to get you ready for the second half after this. There you see our score 7-6 as we get ready to start the second half here at Ladd. Jim Cox and Dan Brennan, Faith Academy with the lead. Faith Academy with the 80-yard touchdown pitch and catch there from Colton Wood. And You know, Dan, we thought the defense would be great on both sides. We haven't been disappointed here. Let's start on Williamson, though. You got to find a way to get in the end zone, got to get some points, because that turnover you had, 1st and 10 out at the 11 of the Rams, I mean, you have a feeling that could come back to haunt them.
Yeah, it could, and the only way they got in the end zone was special teams, and it was kind of a gift because it was a bad snap for Faith Academy Rams, and basically that great defensive end for Williamson was able to get there in time and land on it, so that was their 6 points.
Yeah, Ryan Kidd's been all over the field here tonight, and there was the high snap, and West had no chance. The punter just tried to get one off here, and there's Kidd able to fall on it. Williamson jumped out to the early lead. They went for 2 and didn't get it, and then this was Wood using the speed to go to Dorian Smith, 80 yards, and you know, we just haven't had. We've had a couple of 20-plus yard runs, but it's been about the 2 big offensive plays we've seen in the first half. Both defenses really, really stingy, and I'm sure both offensive coaches in there at halftime saying, hey, we got to find something to get going here.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do in a game like this is give the other team some gifts, jump off sides, do the things that are going to, you know, mitigate any kind of drive you're having, because of the yards, certainly the points, very tough to come by tonight. Good defenses. They are very solid, and Williamson's defense runs very well.
Williamson's going to get the ball to start the third here. As again, halftimes take a little longer because you have to wait for teams to totally clear the field and come back on, bands to totally clear the field and come back on. So things stretch out a little more at halftime than in the past, but like we said, it's different, but so is everything else.
Yeah.
Including your job. Job's different.
The job is different.
I'm waking up to Dan Brennan in the morning.
Yeah, with Dalton Orwig.
FM Talk 106.5,
yeah,
long time.
Call it Mobile Mornings.
Yep, long time. But if you live across the bay, we can still listen.
Oh, yeah.
You don't there's not a stopper up on the Bayway.
Now we got phone calls coming in and the text line, so we're always in constant contact with the listeners. And so far, it's not been a horrible approval rating. Can you have a horrible approval rating? But things are going well.
Not Dan Brennan. And everybody loves Dalton. I mean, he's, you know.
Great young broadcaster. Sean Sullivan, the owner and operator, so I'm in good hands, trust me.
Dalton Orwig came to a big event I put on each year, a big fundraiser for the Baldwin County Humane Society, and adopted his dog at our event.
Really? I know he's got 2 at home.
Yep. So appreciated that. Good kid. Listen to Dan in the morning, 6 to 9. Great to hear you back on the airwaves, my friend.
It's a lot of fun.
So Jack French over there, 277 wins in his career, and again they were kind of floundering out of Faith Academy. They really having trouble stringing any type of wins together, and he came out there and 18-6 in 3 years, 11-1 last year, 13 straight regular season wins. They won the region last year.
Yeah, once they left the AISA, things got tough on them.
Sure.
And they really weren't able to respond playing, you know, all public schools or schools that are part of the AHSAA. And suddenly the tonic was, as usual, Jack French.
Jalen Gray. Back deep. Jacoby Shaw there as well. Sam East. Big leg. It's that one all the way into the end zone. We started doing this 100 years ago. Like, I didn't see kids booming them into the end zone with regularity on kickoffs, and now it's just a regular occurrence.
So true. Usually the schools have got the pretty decent soccer programs. Not only do they have a kicker, Jim, they usually have several kickers that compete, and everybody gets better.
Yep. All right. All right. Daniel Miller and the Lions ready to go.
Clock is rolling. Do they know it?
Jacoby Shaw in the backfield. Play clock at 5, and they get it off. Shaw had a little hole there, and it quickly closed up, so gained only 3. That took that handoff there. Looked like they had something, but the hole did quickly shut down. I think Taylon Rice got in there for the Rams.
They're very sound and secure defenses on both sides, but you get the feeling that Shaw, if not everybody's at home, he can make a big play.
Yep. Talked about Coach Sumter looking for his 4th straight winning season here. 20-13 in the last 3 seasons, all in the playoffs, and playing up in 5A. That's a tough grind, and 4A is going to suit them a little better here for this Lions squad.
UMS up, Williamson down.
Yep. Jackson down as well in 4A now. Faith up to 5A. Third and 6. £135 Jacoby Shaw. Play clock 3, 2, and they get it off. Fake it to Shaw over the middle. Nice pass, able to get that one complete. Nice move up the far side. Jeremiah Owens all the way inside the 30. Best ball of the night we've seen from Miller, and that was a rocket.
Yeah. Tell you, Owens, he had to be ready for that one. Quick slant, gets the first down, and if not for the hustle of the Rams, that might have been 6. That was quick.
Another sophomore on this team had 2 catches last week. Now Morzette. And Owens up to the top of the screen. Nothing doing there for Jacoby Miller. Is Ryan Mills, senior linebacker for the Rams, to make that stop.
They just overloaded. They overloaded the line of scrimmage defensively, and there was really no room there. I'm with you, though. At one point, is Miller going to keep it and try to get to the corner? He's a big guy. I don't know what his speed is, but it may be there.
Or he may just drop the shoulder.
Yeah, make his own room.
Contact comes. And they use a lot of the play clock. 5. Miller floats it out of the backfield, and that was over the head. Jacoby Shaw, that was could have been a little dangerous.
If Saranthus was looking at the ball rather than the player, he might have had a chance to make a pick there. Good, strong safety, Dakota Saranthus, who was a starter last year, too. Faith is solid. Go on the road and win at Andalusia. You got to talk to a travel agent to get there. That's a nice
connect
win.
To Atlanta, like everything else. It's a 3rd and 11. And again, we've seen both of these teams in 3rd and long a bunch tonight. So we're 3 minutes into the 3rd. Miller again, same play, and that one incomplete. Went off the hands of trying to go to Woodyard, who's looking for his first catch of the year.
Wow.
Linebacker on a little slant pattern there.
It's a good throw. Good throw to a great athlete. They've got no choice here but to go for it.
Yeah, and I think no choice sometimes too. When you only have 30 players on your roster, you have to have some guys.
Yep. They're going to think about it here. 4th and 10.
Yeah, this is a big play for the Lions. Take a timeout. You see Miller and Woodyard, the Alabama commit, having a little chat. Update some other scores. Last I saw, it was St. Paul's extending the lead on Spanish Fort by 10. Now Spanish Fort has just scored to make it a 17-14 game. That one in the fourth quarter now. See Williamson. Look at that. 5 of their first 6 games on the road. But of course, the floor was here at Ladd, so technically it was a road game. But they got to go to St. Paul's next week. St. Michael's, W.S. Neal, and at Charles Henderson.
That's not a short drive either, up to Troy.
No, and then you close out the year. You got Jackson go to Escambia County, Viger, and Mobile Christian. So even though you're down to 4A, it's like not a lot of gimmies there on that schedule.
Well, look at the game between UMS Wright and Mobile Christian tonight. That tell you a lot.
That one 14-7, Mobile Christian in the fourth. UMS 34-game win streak on the line. Here we got 4th and 11. We got to get it down to the 16. Miller has some time. Floats it to the near side, and he's got it inside the... No, now they say incomplete. Owens. The one official said...
Waving it off. Let's see what it is. Miller thinks it's complete.
I mean, so I think that official was behind the play as well.
All right, get a look, Jim.
Between the official and Peyton Bell, I think they're going to say, I think the officials conferred and said, yep, that was a catch. Yeah, the official who was behind him, I think he was kind of blocked, but hey, good job by the officials to huddle up there and say
he caught it.
Hey, he got it.
Huge play. You talk about that. That could be a big play in this game, and it just was.
24-yard completion. First and goal. Miller here, he'll keep it, and he'll get to the corner for the touchdown.
Finally happened. Miller, the quarterback, he's been giving it to Shaw every time. There's one time there was a mix-up that resulted in a fumble at the mesh point. This time, fake to Shaw. Miller takes off, and take off a relative term for the big sturdy guy, but he got there.
He won it on a play very similar to that in overtime last week as he got the 2-point conversion. And he knew he had it there as he beat Bell to the edge. And now the Lions
going for 2, right?
0 for 1 on these 2-point conversions. They'll try to get it back up to a 7-point lead here.
That's a big drive and a big end to the drive.
Yep. Completed on the 4th and 11. No to the play clock. Oh, Williamson took a timeout. That play clock was dangerously close to running out. And good job there by the Williamson coaching staff to have an eye on that, because you don't want to back the 2-point conversion at 5.
Well, you hate to have to call a timeout on a play after a touchdown, but maybe that was the wise move.
So more of our great friends to bring you Friday Night Rivals each week here on UTV 44. Greer's been around since 1916 in Barrow Fine Furniture. Furniture for every occasion. Any room, anywhere you need. Furniture.
Sure.
We're at Ladd Stadium. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Jared Kihas in the truck, and our entire crew who gets here so early on Fridays to set up, and then they have to stay late to break down. We appreciate what they do to bring you these great pictures every week. And we've been lucky to work with a bunch of great folks every Friday night here, Dan Brennan.
Sometimes they're the best team in the stadium.
I would agree. Try this 2-point conversion. Again, see if Williamson can get this up to a 7-point lead, and I have a feeling these 2 points could be very big. Check out here, and Miller rolling. Now looking to the other way. Now wants to fire it, and he's got it complete. Kept his eyes downfield the whole time and able to get that one off to Jeremy Williams, who had 3 catches last week. His tight end had a touchdown last week, and the first time they call his number tonight, and he's got the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, he was jubilant. He ran a semicircle all the way back to the bench, celebrating.
They talk about extending the play a little bit here.
He extends the play, and that is a wide open tight end, and that is, I'm with you, that's a huge 2 points for Williamson.
Well, they get it back up to a 7-point advantage there, and
big drive.
That 4th and 11, they convert from the 27, and kept it alive, and now they have regained the lead. Burnett back for Faith. Ryan Kidd too. Kick here for the Lions. Kidd with the 10-yard deep approach. Good kick. He'll take Bell back to the 6. Peyton Bell, the 15. The 25. And about the 27.
It's a good return.
Yard line.
Good spot.
And hey, our friends at Fusakli's, they feed our crew every week before the game. Hand-breaded tenders, house-made sauces. Of course, they've got drive-thrus at all their locations. You can order online at fusaklis.net to do curbside pickup. You can enjoy a snack, a box, a salad, or even a tray, because the foo is perfect for any occasion, and keep the foo in football.
I like that.
What a great business success story as well.
Yeah, local organization.
Yep. At the 27, James went in motion. Burnett on the right side. He got stood up there. McGinley is there in the middle of it, and Kidd was lurking.
Yeah, he wasn't the first one there, but if he needed him. Every now and then these offensive lines get a little push, but for the most part, both teams just equal measure of trouble trying to run the ball.
Mobile Christian has taken a 14-7 lead over UMS in the 4th. Burnett nowhere to go on that one. Tyreek Gaines, the sophomore linebacker, up to fourth that one early, and
like a little trap play, Jim, and Williamson just not having it. Defensive front is stout. Linebackers are really good. Everybody runs, but what I've noticed is everybody hustles.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. 17-14. St. Paul's leading Spanish Fort in the 4th here. 3rd and 6. Wood looking to the right side. Long throw, able to get it out to Dorian Smith. He's got the touchdown tonight. He's got a first down here up to the 43.
How do you like Colton Wood?
He's been so impressive tonight, from decision-making, moxie, slipperiness, and the arm strength.
Arm strength, and just a calm about him, too.
Yeah, he hasn't, was not the starter last year at quarterback, so he's in as a junior. They got a big freshman behind him, and Jared Daughtry, who's 6'2". But Wood has done a great job here tonight for the Rams. That was a big 3rd down conversion. 5 minutes into the 3rd. That's James in motion. They get it to him in some space. He spins, and he'll get 3, maybe 4. That spin move is going to work a lot. Oren Wilson pulled him down, but It's a tough team maybe to get that spin move to create some space against.
That's because the Williamson defense does not believe in social distancing. They get together real quick, and anything you think might be a big play, often it is not. And that's got to do with the pursuit of this entire defense.
Wilson had a big fumble recovery last week for this Lions squad. I think this defense loves their defensive coordinator, Antonio Coleman.
Yeah, I think it goes both ways.
I totally agree with you on that.
Get
now Wood going to pull it down and try to lower the shoulder, and Charles Harris forced that fumble that was recovered by Wilson last week against LaFleur and came in to make the stop. But again, you know, I think Wood's done a good job of taking what's been available and, you know, turning plays into positive that didn't look like there was much there.
And just look at the body language and the command. He just doesn't give you the impression of he's a young guy new on the job.
Yeah.
And with the COVID we've had and how much practice have they been able to get? Spring was wiped out.
Yep.
He looks good.
Led his team to a victory at Andalusia last week.
Yeah, good point.
Pushes ahead here on the sneak, and he'll have the first down.
These teams are even. They're different, but they're even.
Yep. We'll talk more about that after a heat timeout here in the third with 5:31 left. Williamson has regained the lead, 14-7. Faith on the drive. More than halfway through the third. Jim Cox and Dan Brennan back at Ladd Stadium. Got a final to report. St. Paul's 2-0. They beat Spanish Fort 17-14 tonight over in Spanish Fort. Toros are 0-2. St. Paul's 2-0. First down give and a couple here for Barnett. A lot of folks keeping their eyes and ears over what's going on at Mobile Christian. UMS's 34-game winning streak on the line, and right now they trail 14-7, although they just forced a fumble and got the ball back from Mobile Christian. Here are the Rams on their first possession of the second half. Inside give to Dorian Smith, and the speedster gets shut down by his counterpart, number 1, Robert Woodyard.
Yeah, the one Smith doesn't look like the one number 1 doesn't really look like the other number 1, but they're both really terrific athletes.
162, 220, one's 5'7", 150-ish. It's Woodyard again. If you're just joining us, he's committed to Alabama.
But the one that weighs 150's got a touchdown tonight.
You're right about that. All right, 3rd and 8 from the 43. We're going to get a play. I think Faith guys going to have too many players on the field. Yeah, they had 13 by my count.
That's too many.
No, just 12.
Okay.
What penalty is the same, whether it's 12, 13.
It is.
I've always thought if you try, maybe sneak 14 out there. Risk reward, you know. So they were trying
5 yards one way or the other, right?
Yeah. We'll see. Faith was trying to get a timeout. We'll see. I think they're going to get it. You know, they're not going to give it to him. They're going to take. Flag is still. Coach French is out there saying, you know, we called a timeout.
It's either 3rd and 8 all over again or 3rd and 13. Well, that flag is the loneliest piece of material in the stadium right now.
McConnell Collision Center flags, not just any lonely flag. Yep. So we get the penalty.
Is that our guy Buck?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. He was an assistant coach for Williamson back in the heyday.
He sure was.
What a good guy.
Longtime official here in the Mobile area. We'd love to hear his calls of the game, but
Ladd cut the cord.
Cut it. Like kicking the kid out of the house, just cutting the cord and saying, that's it. We're done here. A third and a long 13. Shotgun formation. Woodyard coming. Stepping up is Wood. Pressure from the backside. He fires it off and it's dropped to try to get to Smith, but a lot of pressure all around him there. McGinney was there.
And rarely do they blitz, but they did there. You're right. Woodyard was coming, and he was eventually going to get there. But again, I'll give Wood a lot of credit. He steps up into the pocket and beyond, and keeps his eyes downfield. He's slippery. Look at the moxie to make the throw with people hanging on him.
Kid was there, but also there was a pride of Lions all around him. Some good field position potentially here after the punt coming up. Gray East had a good kickoff that time, and it's going to go over Gray's head. He lets it bounce, and Faith hustle down. They do. Do they keep it out of the end zone? They did, all the way down to the 1. 47-yard punt. 48 would have been too many. Great special teams there, and that was Peyton Bell who hustled down.
I don't know if Gray
Broadus was there as well.
Did Gray not get a good look at it? Not sure why he didn't track it down and fair catch it.
Yeah, it looked like that. Not sure that totally stayed out of the end zone there, but it's down at the 1. But you're right, we've seen a couple of those that probably when they break down special teams films at Williamson this week, the coaches were saying, hey, you got to go up and at least fair catch that.
Yeah.
Don't let it roll all the way back 25 yards, because now you're in a bad spot. Some of that hidden yardage in the game that you don't really see unless you happen to be here. So here we go.
We happen to be watching TV.
Yep. Didn't hear him here with us. Pushing ahead, and Miller. Whew. Good strong lower body to get that one out of the end zone.
They got some strong young gentlemen on the Faith side of the ball, too. They've been tough all night.
Oh, pick 6 for Mobile Christian to extend the lead over UMS is a message we just got delivered to us here in the booth. More to that one, but 2nd and 10 for the Lions. See Miller all the way up under center and just trying to get him a little room. He's still on his feet across the 5 to the 6. That'll help some.
Well, if they're able to get a first down here, that's an accomplishment by itself, because you've got to be so conservative offensively. You'd rather not punt from your end zone, though.
Yeah,
this is making 3rd and 4. Not a lot of creativity those first 2 calls, but they rooted themselves out a little bit.
Give to Jacoby Shaw, and you could see that Tayson Rice was trying to rip that football away, and Shaw, good job to hold on to it.
Rice has had a nice
so now I'm getting that's got a bad report I want to correct here as the punt comes up. UMS with a pick 6 and has tied the game at 14-14.
Okay.
That changes things around a little bit there. 5 minutes to go in that one. And here a big special teams play, and see if the Rams can take advantage of flipping the field here.
He brought us back deep.
Yep.
Good athlete. Might make something happen.
Pressure coming. Kid just got off a low kick. Kind of dies at the 38-yard line. So that special teams hustle by the Rams to down that one at the 1 has really set them up in a good spot here with 50 seconds left in the 3rd. Trivia question. Asked this one back in the first half. 2 All-American QBs here at Williamson. Jamarcus Russell in 2002.
Well, they both played in the SEC.
They did.
T. Martin.
Dan Brennan.
There you go.
1995.
Wow. For Scott O'Brien, our friend, used to say T. Martin was a man among boys when he played here those many years ago.
Yep.
He was a dominant quarterback, and then we saw one too in Russell.
And so now Faith, great field position, down by 7. Wood, pressure dropped back at the 41.
They just keep coming. I mean, they just keep coming. They not just ability, but they've got some motors.
That was Christopher Kennedy, another sophomore, had a sack and a half last week, but about the coverage downfield though too, not giving Wood anywhere to throw the football. So this one was 6-0 Williamson, then 7-6 Faith. Then Williamson scored on the first drive of the second half to go up 12-7, and they got the 2-point conversion. And now 2nd and 13 is going to be 2nd and 18. Five-yard penalty, and it's confirmed now. UMS has tied that game at 14-14 with a pick 6.
Looks like there's a lot of games that could have been the game of the week.
Yeah. It was Robert Courtney, the junior, who had the pick 6 in that one. But here we're going to go to the fourth quarter with Williamson leading 14-7. We thought the defense was going to be good. A little bit better than even we thought. Really good defenses here tonight. 14-7 head into the fourth. Williamson and Faith tonight here on UTV 44. Three quarters in the books here at Ladd-Peebles Stadium. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan. Friday night rivals on UTV 44. Looking downtown Mobile. 2nd and 18 to start the fourth for the Rams. Wood pulls it down, makes a nice move. Gets some of that yardage back to the 35-yard line. Again, just another example of this young man and what he can do on Friday nights.
I mean, he makes some moves that leaves people standing there whiffing. And very talented Williamson defense. Got to give that kid credit for that.
So he picked up 11 there to bring up 3rd and 7 here. This drive started after Williamson Rams did a great job of pinning Williamson all the way back at their 1. And they had to punt after a 3 and out. And looking for Smith, pressure up the middle. Now he jump pass, and it's nearly caught, and then nearly caught on the tip for an interception, but Bell couldn't hold on.
I don't know where they'd be without. I don't know where they'd be without Colton Wood. He's made plays.
Yeah.
He made a few plays that were there, and he's made plays that weren't there.
He gave Bell a chance to catch that.
Really did.
So here's the 35, 4th and 7, kind of again no man's land here. So they'll go for it, and Williamson. Let's see who's taking the timeout. That'll be Williamson's last timeout. Hate to burn him with 11 minutes to go, but Mobile Christian just kicked a field goal. Now they're up 17-14 with 1:40 left. Trying to end that.
A lot going on out there.
UMS winning streak. More of our great friends on Friday nights here. Herc Reynolds give you the player of the game each week. Residential, commercial, industrial. You need tools, you need generators, you need the really big stuff that they wouldn't even rent to guys like Brennan and I. You can, if you're qualified, they'll rent them to you, though. And
I'd take them back broke.
Scholastic, they are a great partner of ours. They feed our crew. Curbside pickup available, drive-throughs available. Thanks to Scholastic and all they continue to do for high school football here on Friday night. So 4th and 7 from the 35. Williamson burned their last time out. James to the bottom of the screen. That's him in motion. Up to the right. Wood rolling. Looking that way. Throws.
It's short, I believe, huh?
Got it to the 30, but he's going to be just short. Coverage over there. Wilson. Let's watch. There was he was covered pretty well. Oh, wow. What a great play by Wilson to ride him out of bounds.
Yeah. Yeah, big play. Gets a possession back for Williamson as they nurse this lead.
Yeah, it was a yard and a half short of the first down. It wasn't one of those things where the receiver didn't run past the sticks. He was just kind of out there in the flat and got caught from behind and trying to give him a chance to turn upfield. And Wood trying to make something happen there, but that's a big stand by that Williamson defense. I mean, that drive started at the 38. They're at the Lions 38.
Yeah, after the down punt and all that.
Yeah, they only gained about
9.
7 yards, 9 yards altogether. Yeah, had the penalty.
Can they establish the run and take some time off that clock? That's what they're thinking right now.
Try it with Shaw.
He's had a couple of runs where he scored it out, but by and large, he's got about 1 or 2 per carry beyond those.
Yeah, and they hadn't really tried to get him outside a whole bunch.
No, not at all.
Yeah, so
amazing that a guy who weighs 135, his bread and butter is not going outside.
Yeah. So Williamson really, kind of shorten the game offensively by working the play clock down inside 10 almost every time they snap it.
Absolutely by design, right?
Yep. Miller, this time getting to the outside is Jacoby Shaw, and he's going to have the first down up to the 45, a gain of 13.
Jim told the story earlier tonight. It's worth repeating if we've got a new audience here, but this is a young guy that does so well in school that he was highly disappointed with his first B.
Yeah. My parents were throwing me a party when I got a B. And I only got 2 parties in all the years of school. Oh, that young man, he was a guest on our pregame show. His brother played here last year. He's a tremendous player. And now he's following in his footsteps. It's in his Lions DNA to be out here on Friday nights for Williamson. Back he goes. And
so we've been doing these games long enough here at Ladd in the shadow of Williamson High School, and we've got enough friends who live in the community. And it really, this Williamson, it is a community. The school is getting smaller, but there's still a lot of pride in the school, in the athletics, and beyond. And you've got a terrific basketball team, by the way.
Great academic program and things going on here at Williams. Talked about Warren Hawkins going to Princeton.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing.
Hawkins make it. Shaw will get 1 here and bring up 3rd and about 5.
Bill's been pretty good with the slants when he needs a 5 or 10 yards.
Yeah, he likes to go to Owens.
Been pretty accurate.
We've only seen him go to the tight end Williams the one time, and that was the 2-point conversion.
That worked.
Yep. So 3rd and 5.
Well, why don't you just take your sweet old time? But that's been their philosophy nearly every snap.
Yep, since the opening drive of this one. The play clock just now creeping inside 10. And Miller wants to keep it himself. He tries to get to the outside, trying to break a tackle, and he'll get brought down right at the sticks.
He's about 4 yards short.
Flag, and I wonder if that's going to be a face mask, horse collar, or a face mask. McConnell Collision Center.
It was. Wow, that is a big penalty in this game.
Even 5 yards, they may have to measure. We'll see.
Well, these defenses play hard.
Yep. Yeah, it was James who had a
pregame guest
hand there, and it was enough for the first down. because it was a 3rd and 5, so they got right to the sticks.
Draining the clock as they go across midfield and making it tougher and tougher on P.A.T Academy.
UMS just kicked a field goal with 23 seconds left to make it 23-23 UMS and Mobile Christian.
Wow.
And we keep talking about that game because it's the longest winning streak in the state. 34 games in a row for UMS Wright.
And we saw number 34.
Right here we got 1st and 10 for the Williamson Lions, and 3 timeouts left for P.A.T Academy. Came into, I think that's going to be Poe, came another sophomore to run the ball. Yep. Darian Poe.
Called the Poe name a time or two in Mobile over the years.
Sure has. Sure have. Philip Hunt with it was a 32-yard field goal to tie it up over there. Boy, you know, Williamson, you start, you know, they a couple first downs, they can really drain the way they drain this clock. P.A.T Academy's going to start thinking about maybe some timeouts. You don't usually think about that at this much time left, but 2nd and 10, Shaw back in. He'll take it. And nothing doing on that one is Caden McGarity, linebacker, came up to make the stop.
He was our student athlete, right?
Correct. Going to be the civil engineer. President of the National Honor Society.
He's part of a very good structure known as the P.A.T Academy defense right now.
I see what you did there.
I mean, they've been solid tonight.
Been very sound. Those things.
Structurally sound.
Yes. 3rd and 9 inside 6 minutes to go. Play clock at 5. They get it off. Drop the football. And Miller goes back to recover it. They were really down to the wire on getting that one off.
Ooh.
Good job by Miller to fall on that one, but now we're going to take our heat timeout. 5:37 to go. Williamson on top, 14-7. They're going to punt it back to the Rams here halfway through the 4th. Beautiful night for football here at Ladd Stadium. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, entire UTV 44 crew headed up by Jared Kihas. His dad's watching in Kansas City.
I love that.
Tonight.
Very critical of his kids' work.
Bouncing snap goes through the legs of Kidd. And now he's trying to make something happen. And he's brought back all the way back down at the 23-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 26. So Williamson got a touchdown early on a bad snap when P.A.T Academy was trying to punt. And then this one virtually rolls back to Kidd.
Snaps have been good all night. Not that one.
Peyton Bell was trying to pull him down. He's a defensive end, so there took a lot of Rams to get the Lion down. But a huge turnover. And now P.A.T Academy back in business at the Lions 32.
Got a lot of nice things to say about this Williamson defense. Now we'll find out. This is the game might come down to this right here.
Colton Wood has been impressive here tonight. Shamar James Burnett trying to bounce it to the outside. Does he drop the shoulder? Stayed on his feet all the way inside the 20. And he's got a first down, and Gray finally pulls him down. You can see the Lions were trying to strip that ball away, but maybe Burnett's best run of the night here, Dan.
Yeah, really good run, great balance, great strength, great vision as well, and he just fights like a bobcat till the end, holds on to the football. Look at that. He got every inch he could.
Down to the 16. as we're under 5 to go. Burnett inside. We'll get 4 more. Woodyard there to finish it up.
Funny time to find your running game.
Wow. And it's not like the Williamson defense has not been on the field a ton here in the second half. It's been the offense that had the long drive to start it off.
In the midst of another long drive.
Yep.
Let's see if this kid can make one more play. Colton Wood.
Colin Ward comes in the backfield, his little H-back. Pitch it off Burnett, trying to get to the outside. Burnett on his feet, he's in for the score.
Great execution, great blocks on the edge, and Burnett sure did want it bad, huh?
Had the good angle going toward the corner.
That's first toss sweep of the whole night.
I was just going to say, we have not seen the ball pitched often here tonight.
And neither team.
Burnett, the sophomore, in for the touchdown.
Well, he's a good-looking sophomore.
And we'll see if East can tie this one up with the very big point after. Now, Williamson jumps off. Change your thinking at all, Dan? Does that change your thinking? You go for 2, you move it half the distance, you go for 2 now?
Changes my thinking.
You and Jack French
We're
with
up here.
277 wins between you.
Yeah, that's why if it changes my thinking, it hardly matters.
So they go half the distance, and you can't. So you can't take a timeout either if you're Williamson.
They're going for it. Here we go.
Seamus James, the deep man. They give it to him. And he's in for the 2-point conversion.
Boy, a lot of heart.
Shamar James, sorry. Shamar James.
A lot of heart. A lot of big bodies doing some grunt work up front.
Oh, that penalty on the P.A.T. Jump offside and move it half the distance, and now you bring in the heavy package. Got a couple defensive linemen in there as well, and Shamar James.
There were some stalemates up front, too, where it looked like Williamson was in pretty good shape, but right over the middle, they were able to get enough push. James, a big, strong athlete. And now we've got less than 4 minutes to go. Williamson will not be milking the clock now. They're going to have to get with it.
Williamson has not thrown it much here tonight.
No.
An update from Mobile Christian. UMS got the ball first in overtime after tying it with a late field goal, 17-17. Trey Singleton scores a touchdown, and UMS up 24-17 in overtime. And now Mobile Christian about to get the ball back. But here, the Rams take advantage of a bad snap on a punt attempt. A short field, and Christian Burnett really fueled that drive to give him the lead, and then they go for 2 and trouble back deep here. Jacoby Shaw up to the 16. And we've not seen big chunk plays much from Williamson here tonight.
We have not, and again, a very sound Faith Academy defense. That was a great kickoff right there.
Yep.
Jacoby had to back up. He was not going to have any momentum going forward once he did catch it, and even then that was a muff. So they end up about 82 yards away from pay dirt.
And, you know, they have not attempted a P.A.T. kicking, so, you know, the kicking game's probably not.
Nothing there. How well can Hill throw it? And how well can the offensive line block? That's what we're about to find out now.
The streak is over. Mobile Christian scores in overtime. Then they go for 2, and they win 25-24 in overtime over UMS.
It's a big one right there.
Deontay Lawson.
Great player.
Oh, he went in from 6 yards out, and then he scored on the 2-point conversion to win 25-24.
They just rode the horse.
So now let's see what the Lions can do. Miller. He's going to turn the corner. His best run of the night across the 30 and steps out of bounds at the 40. Mark him out at the 38, maybe?
Wasn't sure what was going on there. He was forced out of the pocket. And I think the action was all going to go the other way. And the play just blew up, and he was able to get the corner.
Picked up 26 all the way up to the 38-yard line.
I think it was Kennedy Coleman that was flashed in his face, and he thought better of the original play.
Miller going to run it again. Good play there to pull him down as we got to the sideline. He had some room up there, but that was, oh yeah, that Shamar James young man came up and made the stop, and now he'll go out for a breather.
He'll go out for instruction and get right back in.
Yep, you're right. Yes. Miller looked like he wanted to maybe work it back to the near side of the field, but then took off. The clock's still running, and not a lot of urgency here. This play clock all the way down. Out of 12. Miller coming over to Woodyard. Woodyard, his first catch of the season, and trying to stay in bounds. He gets knocked out of bounds. He's going to be just a little short of the first down, but the good thing there for the Lions, again, out of timeouts. Got out of bounds.
And Woodyard's the linebacker going to Alabama. He's only a junior, so, you know, we don't know. He may go straight to the Saints. We don't. But in any event, here they are. It's interesting the way they use him in a, you know, desperate situation. I'm sure that's not the last we'll have seen of him.
3rd and 1. Again, Williamson out of timeouts. The Rams just scored a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to take the lead. And I think Jack French is going to say, all right, 3rd and 1. We see what you got now. Play a little chess here and defensively see what.
Our games we've done that trick us and become something that we were not expecting at all. That happens time to time, but I think tonight kind of worked out the way we thought it would. Really good, well-coached defenses and offenses that just struggled to find any rhythm. One team found enough to get a lead, and that's where we are right now, 15-14.
A couple of the scores. Robertsdale 2-0 on the year. They beat Alberta 33-7. Gulf Shores a win over Brookwood. Citronelle leads Satsuma 14-13. Theodore pulling away from Baker 35-20. Murphy up over Foley. So third. Dan Brennan, I don't need you encouraging me when things go haywire a bit. 3rd and 1 for the Lions. Quarterback sneak. Miller able to push it ahead, and he's got the first down and then some all the way into.
Huddle up and be ready. Hopefully they had 2 plays called, and we'll be ready to go.
Stop the clock momentarily while they move the the chains.
This thing's not over, Jim. You've got 2 minutes.
And, you know, what are the odds you have a fluky finish at Ladd-Peebles Stadium?
Wow.
I mean, we've seen some wild ones here.
Seems like we've seen them mostly early in the year, too, when it's kind of warm and soupy here, and the flag's not blowing much.
The clock is running. Looking to go up top on the far side and tipped away as they were trying to go to Gray. He was double covered over there, and Peyton Bell, who started last year in the secondary and came over here, and that was covered well. And Gray, the starting cornerback.
Yeah, see what role Nettles plays too. The safety, number 9, big lanky kid. He comes over. Yeah, he
got a
plays
hand
a big role.
2nd and 10.
Oh, that's how close we are to this thing flipping around, you know?
I wonder if we see one of those little quick slants that we've seen Miller complete.
Owens on a slant and try to make some yards after the catch. You can see something like that.
Woodyard to the bottom of the screen, and Gray lines up all the way up top again, and play clock at 3. They get it off. Miller, pressure coming. There's a flag that's going to be a hold, and he'll step out of bounds. It's going to be a costly holding penalty.
Thought Woodyard might run a stop and go, and he just ran a stop. And Miller was looking for him, but there was too much pressure on him.
McConnell, flag on the field is a holding call against the Lions. Boy, this is not a team that does real well when you're behind the sticks. It's not their
forte, and huge penalty now at the 136 mark.
Yeah, all the way back to the 36-yard line. Second and 25. Sorry, correct. Williamson out of timeouts. Faith with 2. Still just one safety in the middle of the field. Miller throws it up the near side, kind of hangs that one up, but it's picked off by Broadus. Gabe Broadus comes up with the interception, and with no timeouts, Faith is going to come from behind and win this one here at Ladd tonight. Unless something really funky happens in the last 125.
Broadus has shown himself to be a good athlete, smart athlete, and he's very aware on this, running stride for stride, but he has his head around. You know, he's just not in a panic.
Had some inside leverage there on Owens as well, and Faith Academy, it looks like, is going to move to 2-0.
They'll be 2-0 with a win total of 2 points over their opponents in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, and two wins on the road at Andalusia, and looks like here at Ladd as well, as again, no timeouts, and Wood takes a knee, and just have to snap it one more time. Jack French gonna make it 14 straight wins here for Faith Academy. Just need to snap the ball when the play clock gets down inside 4, and then we'll be inside 40 seconds, and that's what they do. And now they will not have to snap it again. We do not get a handshake because of the pandemic, but still some players going over and tapping one another on the head, showing a lot of respect. And It's a really good football game we just watched, Dan Brennan.
It was even teams, not identical, but even, and you could see that from the start. It turned out that way, 15-14, as Faith Academy comes from West Mobile and sneaks out a win at Ladd-Peebles.
They improved to 2-0. And they'll take on 1-1 Alberta next week.
What are your thoughts on players of the game?
Colt Wood, you got him circled on your sheet. He played really well at quarterback for Faith Academy.
Ryan Kidd on my list.
Yeah, he played great defensively for the Williamson Lions, and that defensive Faith Academy played all night. Broadus played really well, played well on special teams as well, and had that big interception there.
Game-sealing interception. He put his name in there as well as anybody's.
Yeah. Faith Academy getting out 2-0. Williamson will regroup, and now they're going to go up against St. Paul's next week.
How did St. Paul's turn out today?
St. Paul's beat Spanish Fort 17-14.
Okay.
Over in Spanish Fort, and win number 278 for Coach Jack French, and the longest winning streak in Mobile now.
Really?
Regular season games anyway. They now have won 15 in a row.
No smiles over there, so I don't know what the tone is or what the message is, but they came out on top, but not a lot of jubilation over there, Jim.
Did not, he was certainly when we talked to him at halftime, it sounded like he was not super excited the way his team came out in the first half there, but it's 2 weeks in a row they found a way to get a win. Some other scores to pass along. Foley, try to get a correction on that one maybe, but as we said, Robertsdale 2-0. They got the win here tonight. Fairhope hangs on to beat Andalusia up in Andalusia 28-21, setting up a huge battle next week. Daphne and Fairhope, a couple of 7A teams battling on the Eastern Shore. Theodore still leading Baker.
We've got a good one next week, too.
We will take McGill and Saraland. McGill now down in 6A. So that'll be an exciting matchup here on UTV 44. Bayside Academy going to open up the season 2-0 as they're on their way to beat Houston Academy 31-10. Citronelle beat Satsuma 14-13. And the big news tonight, Mobile Christian in overtime beats UMS Wright 25-24. Bryant 2-0 on the year as they beat Mary G 26-6. And Chickasaw beat St. Luke's tonight 32-13. And T.R. Miller, a winner over Escambia County 29-0. And our player of the game nominations, Shamar James from Faith Academy, Colton Wood, the quarterback from Faith Academy, and Ryan Kidd, who had the touchdown defensively and also was all over the field on defense here tonight for the Williamson Lions, who fall to 1-1 on the year. So I think Dan Brennan, I think we saw the defenses we thought here tonight. I think both teams probably feel they got some work to do on offense, but boy, I think if you're Faith, you're so excited to come out of here with the win, and the way you did it at the end. You ran the ball as well as you'd run it all night long after you got the big turnover and able to punch it in behind Burnett, and that came out to be the difference.
Yeah, there weren't many big plays in the game. There weren't many plays that stuck out at all. It wasn't like any kind of a highlight reel, but a big win. And I don't know exactly where Jack French and his team are right now together in terms of what they're thinking and what they're discussing, but they do get the win.
They're 2-0. They can discuss that. It's easier to make discussions when you're up 2-0. So our final score here tonight is 15-14. Faith Academy gets the win. Dan Brennan, Jim Cox, Jared Kihas, our entire crew. Thanks for joining us tonight from Ladd. Next week, McGill and Saraland on Friday Night Rivals.